Well, the sun is shining, and the temperature is up to 63 degrees on this, the second day of spring, 2021, hopefully kicking off a long and warm and happy springtime. I'm Sean here in Iowa City. Won't you join me for the next, 15 minutes or so? That's right, folks, the Dairy Queen is open over on Riverside Drive. So put down your Frosty for just a bit by the glow of your radio and enjoy this episode of Radio Ranger. And this is Radio Ranger in glorious stereo from my home in Iowa City, Iowa. In this weekly program, I highlight a broadcast radio program that you can tune into in your local listening area or stream online. I share reflections and memories of how each of these programs has had an impact on me in hopes that you decide to give it a listen to. Maybe it'll become a part of your regular routine. The goal of Radio Ranger is to keep radio alive and encourage radio listenership. I'll also play music or hand-selected shows from the golden age of radio. Well, March is St. Patrick's Day, and it just passed, so I don't know about you, but I celebrate it all month long. I hope you had a good one. Live Celtic music is a great tradition, and something I've enjoyed for many years, and I've been missing it the last two St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully things will be more back to normal in St. Patrick's Day 2022. If you missed hearing Radio Ranger last week, that's because there was no program released due to a personal conflict. I hope you spent that time to explore some radio programs that have been suggested here, or did some exploring on your own. In the last week or so, I've discovered a treasure trove of wonderful musical programming on Iowa Public Radio Classical, and we'll be highlighting some of those shows as I explore them and get a good knowledge base to share with you over the coming weekends. If you're big on listening to this show when the program is released at 5 o'clock Central Time, you're going to notice a change starting next Sunday, when Radio Ranger is released at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time going forward. This is in order to avoid any personal conflicts I have, so that I can operate the FM transmitter for a live broadcast for local listeners in the Iowa City area. And when I say local, I mean within 5 miles of my residence. Well, I have an unwanted guest with me in my home studio today, and that is Jojo the cat. Jojo the cat is a black and gray evil brother to my good friend JJ the cat. He is not to be trusted and is lurking under my wife's desk here in the home studio office room, and I'm keeping a wary eye on him as he could attack me at any time. Well, this week in honor of St. Patrick's Day and what is Irish American Heritage Month, we give a listen to a program that is all about Celtic music, the Thistle Shamrock, hosted by Fiona Ritchie, an NPR program.
Hello once again, it's the Thistle Shamrock. I'm Fiona Ritchie and you're very welcome. This is Wee Banjo 3, live in Galway.
Well, not really Irish, but Scottish. Fiona Ritchie is an award-winning radio broadcaster, producer, and writer. Her radio career began in 1981 and grew in local stations and network settings. She produced and presented both live and recorded programs for NPR and the BBC, also curating web-based content for internet radio Soma FM. Fiona is best known as the host and producer of NPR's The Thistle Shamrock, an hour of music from Celtic roots broadcasting weekly across the U.S. since 1983. In the 1990s, Fiona co-anchored NPR's July 4th live performance broadcasts, airing coast to coast in the U.S. from the National Mall in Washington, D.C., and she launched the seminal radio show Celtic Connections in conjunction with the BBC and Radio Scotland. Well, Fiona is also an author and has penned the New York Times bestseller Wayfaring Strangers, The Musical Voyage from Scotland and Ulster to Appalachia, and also the NPR Curious Listener's Guide to Celtic Music. In 2018, Ritchie was inducted into the Folk DJ Hall of Fame. In 2016, she was inducted into the Scottish Traditional Music Hall of Fame. Visit thistleradio.com, that's thistleradio.com, to access lots of information about Ritchie, her writings, her radio projects, and the Thistle and Shamrock radio program. Visit NPR's website and search and find the Thistle and Shamrock, or go to npr.org/series, The Thistle and Shamrock. If you're listening to me online, you'll find the links below. Let's listen to one of my favorite pieces of Celtic music, The Gale. Well, that was an excerpt of The Gale, and you may recognize that from the motion picture The Last of the Mohicans. The song featured prominently in that film. Well, if you enjoy Celtic music, you might want to give the Thistle and Shamrock a listen. If you haven't already heard it, it's been on the air since 1983 and still continues to be broadcast nationwide on NPR affiliate stations. For more information on your local broadcast of the Thistle and Shamrock, or to find a very accessible archive of shows digitally that you can listen to at any time, anywhere, visit npr.org/series or use the link below. Well, I'm going to start doing some shout-outs to point you in the right direction for some radio programs as I find them week by week that you might want to check out. This way, I'm getting this information to you sooner, so you don't have to wait for me to actually feature the show. The shows in question may be featured in later episodes of Radio Ranger, but I want to get the information to you quicker, not hold them secret in my vault of good radio listening shows. First up this week, I've got Concierto. It's a classical music program. It does air here in Iowa on Iowa Public Radio, 91.7 for listeners in the Iowa City area, and it airs at 8 a.m. on Saturday mornings, but you can listen to it anytime if you go to Iowa Public Radio's website or visit the site for the show itself, concierto.org. It's hosted by Frank Dominguez and has classical music presented in English and Spanish, focusing on music by Latin American and Spanish composers. The next recommendation takes us to WWFM from West Windsor, New Jersey, airing at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, Sounds Choral, a weekly exploration into the colorful world of choral music. And you'll find an archive of their latest broadcasts for your listening pleasure at any time, anywhere at www.fm.org/programs/sounds-choral. Well, I've done my due diligence, and while I did listen to the Thistle and Shamrock on the air when I lived in Maryland and Pennsylvania, I cannot find it on the air anywhere here in the state of Iowa. But if you know better than me and find it in your radio explorations, please tell me I'm wrong and let me know, because I'd love to tune it in here the old-fashioned way. Well, I've got the whole family here that's come in somehow ever so quietly, like mice on padded feet. Sylvie the dog is snoring away. Jojo the evil cat is conniving behind me. And JJ, Mr. Stinko, the black and white cat, is relaxing away there as well. And hopefully you're doing the same. So the best from my family to yours. And remember, the only way to find out what's out there is by tuning in. So listen to your radio every day and feel your troubles melt away. Don't listen to my program. Listen to everyone else's. We'll see you next week.
Are you the Wolfman?